It's Eternal Midnight here. I'm Logan, and I'm here with my buddies Chad and James, and we're going to be talking about our thoughts on the new Avengers Endgame trailer. Uh, who would like to go first?
It
It
looked
was
good.
better than that stupid teaser that came out.
I like that. Didn't show too
Hated
much.
it.
It was a good teaser. Like it
Well,
did.
this was an awesome trailer.
Yeah, they were both good at what they were meant to do. Like a teaser now is just a mini trailer, so seeing one that just teased was pretty fun. The trailer
I
though,
mean, they could have just showed Thanos' bald head, and I'd already be excited. Okay.
yeah. I love that the trailer had what was it, three action sequences that were completely, or two action sequences that are completely out of context. Like we don't know what's going on there. We just know that we're going to see miniature Ant-Man and Captain America on the verge of death, which is terrifying.
And we got Nebula running and screaming with her
Oh
knives.
shit! Yeah, that is one.
Do you think she's
That
about to do something substantial, or do you think she's going to get knocked the fuck out?
I want her to do something because I feel like this is the movie where I want to see Ant-Man and Nebula do something because neither of them. I mean, Ant-Man's had his two solo movies, but he hasn't really had a chance to shine as like an Avenger yet.
Yeah,
And I mean, Nebula definitely had some more growth in Guardians 2, but it's like I want to see more of her because her character genuinely like intrigues me, like where she came from, what she's been through, and I want to see that because I mean, Thanos just treats her like absolute shit. Like I mean, come on, I just watched Infinity War like 2 nights ago, and when she lands on Titan and she's like, "You should have killed me," he just looks at her and goes, "It would have been a waste of parts." I'm like, damn,
No,
that's
that's savage. That's savage, though.
that has got to hurt being
Like,
told.
get wrecked.
that's not as bad as what happened in the comics, though. If you
Oh, that was painful.
Have you
You
read
know, if
that?
I get to see that in the movies,
Yeah,
Infinity
I'll
Gauntlet?
let her. I'll let her beat him. Okay,
That
if he
was
turns her into a
hard.
living fucking corpse.
yeah. He had her on the perfect edge of death and life, in
He
constant
just
agony.
kept her there just to torture her.
He kind of had that in Infinity War, though, when he was like pulling
When he
her
had her, like,
apart.
Yup.
Yeah, that was. I think that's what that was supposed to be. So that is pretty fucked. I wouldn't mind seeing her land a killing blow, or at the least, because I don't want him to die. At the very least, having her undo it with the gauntlet, because that's what happened in the comics, and it was a great moment. Because I think she's got the most emotional stakes in it, even though she's not the most elaborated on. She was raised by him and was treated the worst out of all of his children. She was tortured.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and he just doesn't care about her, and he treats her like shit, and he's killed everybody she loves, and all these new friends she's made. He's just killed
I mean,
them all.
look at that face she made in Guardians
Yeah.
when Thanos looks at Ronan and he's like, it's been a while since I watched the first one, but it's like something along the lines of he said something like, "You've mistreated Gamora, my favorite kid," or something.
No, he said.
Right
He
in
was
front
going
of
on about failure. And he's like, and it seems you've alienated my favorite daughter, Gamora.
Yeah, right in front, and then they just show Nebula's face, and she just has that look on her face as she's looking down, like, "We just had to say it, you bastard."
I love it as well because Karen Gillan is a brilliant actress. So
Yeah.
she's a-
And seeing Nebula in the quantum realm suit gave me hope that she's hopefully going to have a bigger role in the movie.
I
So
think that
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
that scene definitely it just it's fake. It has to be, right?
No.
It like they always have one that isn't actually in the movie.
See, I don't want it to be.
I
I mean,
know.
I want it to be in the movie because it's like maybe not exactly like that, but I mean, because it was kind of funny. Like,
Yeah.
they're all like two lines and caps in front of everyone, but
Yeah, just slow-mo walking. To me, that just doesn't feel like something that would organically fit into the movie at any point. But especially if it's the first 20 minutes. So I feel like that's just like
was a lie. Come on, you know that was a lie. That the
Yeah.
footage in this trailers in the first 20 minutes of the movie, that's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard.
yeah, it definitely is. So
Everything that happened in that trailer, there's no way that's all within the first 20 minutes.
if it is,
That's
though,
not-
holy shit, it's gonna be.
if that's in the first 20 minutes of the movie, then and that trailer was what 3 minutes long, then they've got 17 minutes to do
Yeah, that's
set that.
true. See, I think the quantum suit scene is just there to show the new suits off and to show that Tony and Nebula will make it home. I don't think it's there to actually be in the movie because it seems to change every time we see it.
Yeah,
And
and
if the,
sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, but too bad, it's been out long enough. Uh, them inspecting the beeper and her just or the pager and then her showing up like that. It's like I don't know. I don't feel like that could be within the first 20 minutes of the
See,
movie.
I think what we're gonna see is a little bit after Infinity War, we're gonna see them reeling in, struggling. I think they'll use Ant-Man to show the time skip.
Yeah, because if
Um,
you see it in the trailer, it's like we've seen Black Widow has her red hair again.
yeah,
You watch the end of the trailer where they show the Thor Captain Marvel stare down contest.
yeah.
Black Widow's right there with her white hair still. So you're right. There's got to be a time skip at some point in the movie. I think.
See, I think Captain Marvel will show up first because she'll answer straight to the pager, so it makes sense she'd get there before the time skip.
Mm.
So I see them going to the Avengers facility, recuperating, seeing who's missing, who's alive. That all to me makes sense to happen right after Infinity War. And then I think they won't just sit and wallow. I think they'll go after Thanos again, but they'll get their asses handed to them again. And I think that's when they'll start to think, well, we can't do it. We can't. There's no way. I think that a second defeat, that's what will push them back. And there's no solution they can think of to bring people back to life. They don't know how to do that. So I think
I don't even know if that's an option. I mean, I don't know why these people's mindsets should jump right to we have to bring everyone back. I mean, that's just it doesn't seem like a natural thought progression if
I
we're
don't think
supposed
that's
to.
what's going to happen, though. I think what's going to happen
It's
is
going to be like they're going to find a way to like, oh, we've stumbled upon this that can undo it. Oh my God, let's
that's
go
what I
after
mean.
it.
So their hope
Yeah.
will be completely crushed because there's no way to get these people back. So the initial thought is let's go after Thanos. That doesn't work out. Then we have Ant-Man. He appears in the future. The first thing he does is he goes to his home, and then he sees that his daughter and his family's missing. And I think at that point we'll also have Black Widow looking for Hawkeye. And I think after that they'll probably figure out about the quantum realm stuff. And I think that's when it'll come in that what if we time travel? I think that's what will happen.
I could definitely
Oh,
see that.
oh yeah, because you know the synopsis that came out, they said
Yeah,
that the two
yeah.
hopes is either Captain Marvel or Ant Man. If Captain Marvel does show up at the beginning, like you said, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got another powerful player. Let's go fuck his shit up,"
And
and then
then
they get
yeah,
dusted again. You know, well, not literally. You know, they get beat.
yeah,
And then when Ant Man shows up, because you know, if you look at their quantum suits, they kind of all look like Pym suits. You know, they kind of have
yeah.
that like. So it would. Ooh,
Yeah,
I like that.
that's my thought process because I think if Captain Marvel arrives at the start, like you say, they'll go, "Oh, we have another powerhouse," but I don't think it'll work out, and I don't know if Thor will even want to come with them. Maybe he will, but I don't.
Oh come on! This time he's gonna aim for the head. Thanos wakes up, he looks out at his farm, and like the Avengers are roaming up, and he just
Yeah.
sits there and he's like, you know what? Not today, and he just sends them back to fucking Earth.
I think we're going to see an internal divide as well. That people like I don't think Thor and Captain Marvel was seen in the quantum suits, so I feel like they're going to sort of with Rocket splinter off.
They're gonna split up and do their
Oh,
own
you can
thing.
look at the
Yeah.
toys, James. You can look at the toys.
Oh, quiet.
I don't think that because I don't know if all of them would be on board with messing with time to bring people back. Because
Yeah,
that's a
time
big
travel
thing.
is just. I mean, I'm sorry. It's almost like a proven fact in science fiction films. Time travel just doesn't always work,
Oh, it's
and
messy.
the harder you try to go with time travel, the less sense it makes. Like I know a lot of people have a massive hard on for Days of Future Past, but that time travel just doesn't make any sense.
No, and Doctor Who's entire timeline is a mess now. There's no following it. Um, honestly, time travel just it doesn't work. But I maybe they'll do it in a
The only-
subtle
One
way.
of the only movies where time travel, in my opinion, really worked and made sense was just the first Terminator because it was a time loop of everything that happened was supposed to happen. Like that,
Yeah.
the T-800 go back in time created Skynet, so it became a circle.
The only way I think you can do it is if you have it so that changing the past doesn't change the past. It splinters the universe into two different directions, and I
Yeah,
think you
different.
end up in a different timeline. I think that's the only
Like-
way you can do it.
All these time travel,
But
where it's like just going back in time and changing it doesn't change your future; it just creates a new
yeah,
offshoot.
that's the only way I can see it happening. I mean, that's how I think it's probably. I think that's probably how it would work in real life because I don't think the universe would be that fragile. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a weird one if they go back in time. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to go before Wakanda gets taken down? Are they going to go all the way back to when they had some of the gems at their disposal? I don't see where they're going to go.
From the behind the scenes pictures, I mean, we're going back at least as far as the first Avengers,
Yeah,
unless those are literally just scenes that they like reshot to do some kind of like retcon or something like that, maybe
yeah,
like where they like show a scene from the Battle of New York where they're just like, oh, well, just because you didn't see it didn't mean it didn't happen, and then they like show that something happened, and it's like, oh yeah, and go back and think about that, and it's like, oh god, but
and timeline wise, we can piece together Hawkeye. He's with his family, showing his daughter how to use a bow. If we look at when Ant Man's family got snapped, that got snapped right as his house arrest was ending. Like that's when it was happening, and he's got the thing around his ankle monitor. So I think
because
it's going to be like the last few days.
because if him and Scott were, I'm gonna roll. Would they probably cut the same type of deals?
Yeah.
Meaning, Scott got his anklet off right before it happened. So I'm gonna roll with Hawkeye was about to get it off at the around the exact same time, within at least a week or something.
Yeah, and then I'm envisioning that what's going to happen is Black Widow's going to come. He's going to be murdering, which I think is going to be Skrull personally, because I don't see why he would just go to Japan to kill mafia or whatever. That why?
Yeah, that's weird. I was like, why would he randomly go there? Like, unless because the world is in just like such chaos, he kind of feels like because he's still an Avenger, he needs to do some kind of crowd control or something. But why would he go alone? Or
Yeah, why would he go to
maybe
Japan? I think it's going to be Skrull personally, because I think maybe the blood is blue and they're going to show that in the actual movie. So I think he's going to be telling Black Widow when she finds him there about how his family got snapped. I think that's how they're going to do it. So I'm seeing like a voiceover with an explanation and stuff. Like this is where I was during Infinity War. My family died.
probably the biggest character that I mean, I'm glad we're not seeing too much of him, but it just makes me wonder what the plan is because the news just broke last night. It seems that Ruffalo's done after Endgame, so it's like,
Thank fuck.
what's going on in this movie?
Ruffalo, his Hulk I hate. That's no secret.
Right.
But I mean, right,
Banner, I hate his Hulk. It's yeah.
I
So
can't see him doing a Professor Hulk without coming across as really cheesy. I can't see him doing a Worldbreaker Hulk without coming across as insincere. I can't see him doing a separated Banner and Hulk because I don't like his Banner or Hulk at the moment, so separated it would just be both of them at the same time. So no matter what, I can already see myself being disappointed by Mark Ruffalo in Endgame.
I'm just wondering what they're planning to do with him. Like, do you think Hulk's gonna die? Do you think they're gonna banish him to some empty planet somewhere? Like that's what he wants, or
I don't know. It's what if the snap killed Hulk? Half of his personality gone. No, I mean they tried to explain it as though Hulk's sick of being used as a weapon, but I heard that they just wanted they wanted to try and gut all the optimism from the final act, so that it would be like Thor took the center stage and he was the one that brought forth all of this hope, and Hulk wouldn't be like he would ruin that. So,
right?
but I think they did it in such a terrible way that it just wasn't convincing.
No damn sense.
It was clearly a last minute decision because you can tell by the CGI of Ruffalo's head that it was.
Well, and like that first Infinity War trailer that lied to us, that showed Hulk running with Captain America and the Wakanda team. So it's like, that was a blatant lie. That was not misleading or subverting expectations. That was a lie.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I liked how they did it in Homecoming where Iron Man and Spider Man were together. That was
Different,
cool.
though.
Yeah, I think something like that. Like if the quantum suit one's fake, it's not nearly as bad.
Because I mean, we didn't see him in one of the quantum suits,
No,
so who knows where he is? I mean,
we didn't see him. We didn't see Thor. We didn't see Captain Marvel. Rocket was in that scene from another
yeah,
angle.
they just chose not to show him. But from the old stills, you can see Rockets walking with all of them.
Yeah, which is why I think that scene is fake because it's.
That means three of the big powerhouses, the three biggest powerhouses left, are not there: Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Thor.
Imagine if they kill Thor right in the first like 20 minutes of the movie. He goes after Thanos again and he just dies. Holy
That
shit.
would be crazy.
Brutal. I mean, I'm hoping because the first movie was very much about Thanos, Thor, Iron Man, and to an extent, Doctor Strange and the Guardians. So I'm really hoping that this one is about Captain America, um, Ant
Yeah,
Man.
man.
Yeah, Ant Man. And I'm hoping it's mainly them two. I don't really want to see more of anyone else.
No, I want more of Nebula.
Nebula, yeah, Nebula, definitely.
I
That would
want
be
more
cool.
Thanos.
Shift who the main characters are. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and clearly Thanos isn't the protagonist in this one. So
I don't know what the protagonist is because I mean, stop and think about it. In that one scene where we see Ant Man shrunk down, he's jumping from like a pencil, and it looks like there's like some kind of like cord or something there.
yeah,
It looks like there's like a fire going on. So it's like, who or what is the actual protagonist of this film that's going to cause, aside from Thanos possibly, but who or what else is there causing our heroes' problems?
yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know who the hell is the villain of this movie. It could
I
be.
heard a rumor that like Red Skull was gonna like because then he's free now, eh? To like do whatever he wants. So I
How is
heard
he gonna get back though?
dude can fly. Who knows?
No. See, I think Red Skull's fucked. I think he's stuck there. I'd love to see more of him, but I think the fact that they hired an impressionist, the guy that
Oh,
was in The Walking Dead,
let,
he
let me down.
he did a really good job though. Like I didn't know it until after the
Yeah,
movie. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't him.
Still, I was glad to see Red Skull again, but I think in such a small role, it's clear they're not using him again. It's Hey, so I'm sorry about the jarring cut at the end here. We noticed whilst editing that the videos have been getting cut off at the end prematurely. This is something to do with the recording software, so we're going to be changing what we use to record the podcasts with in the future. But we rounded it off by saying that we all thought the trailer was really good, and it didn't show too much, but it showed enough to get us hyped. So yeah, we enjoyed the trailer, and that's sort of where we ended it. At the end of the podcast there. So if you want to see more like this, hopefully with less of the endings chopped off, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and we'll be discussing all things geek, not just Marvel, in the future.